programs we've ever had, have I ever said anything that was incorrect? He said, no, absolutely not. He said, have I ever said anything that helped the situation? He said, absolutely. I said, well, tell the brothers I want to go to Iran to help them. They done messed up. I want to go to kind of make things better. I can tell the people in Iran, the situation in Iran, the good part of that JCPO, and it was good to have it, but it was good to pull the good part out of everything. Actually, to pull them out of the fire. Because evidently, now, if you take Qasem Soleimani and all of them, when they met in Syria, that's who it was. Or technically, they was having a meeting. This might have been in Tehran, or it was in Syria. But it was about Syria. And it was about these things that Soleimani is in charge of. The revolutionary stuff. They didn't invite our friend. They said, you like, what's her name? The little white lady, the little Jewish lady.
Oh, from Cold Pink.
Cold Pink lady, yeah. He said, you like them, so you host them. He was so mad, he resigned. And then he was saying, if y'all don't trust me, if you don't like me, I quit. They said, oh, no, you're okay. We're just not going to put you in on this serious stuff. You like them white folks? You host them. You know, you like Cold Pink? Do you see the other people, they know who people are. They know they lying. And the lines were separate. The lines are not separate now. They're like they was during this period. All of the flashbacks is back. All the slogans is back. But now it's not only the young people, it's the middle, all those people during this period are now full grown. They have children and grandchildren, right? It's the whole society. No one, none of us had the ability, the power to do what Trump has done. It's unbelievable. Number one, wiped away all of that Iran, Iraq, and we don't like Iran. That was the embassy in Iraq paying people to burn the consulate, to demonstrate. Remember, they got 4,500 people there in that embassy. They have billions of dollars, right? So they can, the embassy is a seat of fitna. And they martyred our brother Bukar, and they wanted division between Iran and Iraq because of several reasons. If you take number one, Iran has become a regional power. We've been talking about regionalism now, it's almost 10 years. We've been talking about it. It's laid out, nobody else laid it out. So what they're going to do they came to Iraq and they destroyed Iraq. They destroyed it. 2003, in all that period, there's 1 million people dead. 1 million people dead from that time. Not the other Gulf War. The second Gulf War. This is the first Gulf War. 1980, 1988. The second one was 1991. depleted uranium. I don't know if y'all remember depleted uranium. Thousands of children born in Iraq with one arm, 3 arms, 3 feet, all kind of double heads, depleted uranium. And then not only the Iraqi people, but the women troops that came back, right? The babies they had right here in Texas, all over the country. Gulf War syndrome, they was calling it. The people was calling it Gulf War syndrome, but they was telling the people, you don't have no problem. Just take a few aspirins. Right? That's what they was telling the Americans. That's what they told the Americans about, don't worry about Gulf War syndrome. They weren't calling it Gulf War syndrome. But this time, when they come back from 2003, 4, 5, what, weapons of mass destruction? Where are they at? What did America want? They wanted to. Why did they invade Saddam in the first place? What I'm going to say will give you an understanding, a feeling of why they invaded Iraq the first time. During this war, the imposed war, the United States helped Iraq with food subsidies, satellite photos, right? Poison gas. They showed the world, all of these people, they got, this whole book was full of people that was poison gas. They sent them to Europe and everything for treatment. You could see, yes, they used poison gas. These brothers here, this is a uniform that you would put on, a plastic to put on, to protect yourself from poison gas. The only thing is, it's plastic. You can't wear it in the Foul Peninsula and around. The areas that they were fighting in, it's 120 degrees plus, 122 degrees outside. They couldn't even, they'd have to take it off. The UN knew that they was using poison gas. I think Germany and England may have gave them the chemicals to make the poison gas. Anywhere where Iranian troops was, satellite imagery would tell them, would tell the Iraqis where they are, right? The French Exocet missiles, I don't know if y'all remember the Stark. The was an American cruiser. They shot a French Exocet missile, right? And that missile hit the Stark. Okay, here's what Iranians told me. They say it wasn't accidental. They say they got control of it. And they guided it to hit the Stark. 38 Americans were killed. But you know what? They didn't do nothing about it because Saddam was their friend at that time. $33 billion from Kuwait, $50 billion from Saudi Arabia and more. They built up a huge army, a well-equipped army to fight the Iranians. The war is over. 1988. Saddam has this huge 4 million people army, a lot of technical innovations. The Americans came in. You remember the Scud missile they used to have? The Americans came in, took that big Scud missile so it could hit Iran. They made the bomb payload smaller and the fuel load bigger, right? They took the Russian missile and revived it so they could hit Iran. When I was in Iran during the war, they had these, you know those big concrete pipes that they have? Big concrete sewer pipes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Well, imagine a big giant cement half circle like. Those are bomb shelters in Iran. They made out of cement. They are big oval thing like this. Actually, it's a half a pipe, but it's a big giant. So the people can run and stand inside of that, right? They're just all over Iran. They gave them the technology. I'm gonna speed up because I'm gonna be here a while. Suppose Israel bombed in '82 the Iraqi atomic site. They bombed it. They came in with jets and bombed it. But they still needed Iraq to fight the Iranians for another 6 years. They got that big army. America goes to the Saudis, to the Kuwaitis, and tell them, harass Saddam. Make him mad. He's a fat-headed bully. And he will attack you. That's what happened. So, and slant drilling. Kuwait is here, Iraq is here. So if you drill straight down, you get your own oil. If the Kuwaitis slant drill and let Saddam know, we're slant drilling. We're stealing your Iraqi oil. Right? They're drilling at a slant. The border's right here. I'm telling you, if you're right on the border and you're just one block over there, all you got to do is drill. You can drill, I don't know how many thousand feet they can drill, but they just drill over, zoop, right into your oil. Slant drilling. And everybody knows it. Saddam gets mad. He attacks Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. And Saddam is such a stooge, he never believes America is going to attack him. But America is the one that set it up. America is the one, why? Why would they do that? Because he has this big, huge army, and it's enough to attack Israel if he feels like it. That's what so they can't have that. One thing that, in order for the Israelis to feel stable, everybody else got to be unstable. That's just the rule. And they have a right to attack anybody they want. They're bombing Syria right now. They've taken the Golan Heights and annexed it. They build whatever they want on Palestinian territory. It's no problem. And they've killed over 153 people this year, last year. Palestinians. They can use everything outlawed, they can use it. You see, ever go and seeing them, all those bombs, those are cluster bombs. One cluster bomb got 650 bombs in it. When they drop that thing, all the little bomblets go out, and they cover this whole area, and they kill everything within that area, right? And then a few that's left over, they have bright colors. The little kids go pick them up, and they blow off their hand. They blow off. That's what they do. Anyway, the objective: destroy the unity between Iran and Iraq. After the Gulf War, or after Saddam is taken down 2002, 2003, 4, let's say around 5 and 6, those years. Iran steps in and they do several things. Number one, IUDs. So, why they hate Agha Suleiman? Because everywhere America went to cause trouble, he went there and helped. He went to Lebanon, he went to Syria, right? And he went to Iraq. Several things Iranians have already done. Number one, they studied how Americans fight. They studied how they fight. It don't make no difference how efficient you are. If somebody else been studying you, they know your weak points. Well, they know not only what to do, but they know what not to do with you. They've studied all your latest gadgets. They know what to do, and they know what not to do. You notice there was a big change in the war as Iran began to teach, train, and organize the militias. All of a sudden, the big invader, nobody was confronting them face to face, but they was wearing him out. They was wearing boss man out. What happened? Americans came back, all kind of limbs blown off. You could see what happened to America. It's happening now even. I just want to say something that Nasrullah said this morning. He said, we are not attacking American citizens. We're attacking the American Army. If you want to hear a good outline of what they were doing, you try to bring that up. It's probably on Press TV somewhere. This morning, he laid it out very well. In fact, I redid half of what I was going to say based on it, because he gave what was their objectives to do that. The objective was to, number one, steal all the oil from Iraq. Not only Iraq, Lebanon don't have but 4 or 5 drops of oil, and they want to steal that. Syria has 9 or 10 drops, and guess what this clown said on the news last month, month before last? He said, yeah, we got all the Syrian oil, we're sending our troops. They sent 2 or 3 more troops to do what? From Iraq? To take the Syrian oil. So, well, we're going to have Exxon and Mobil. He called their name to come in and steal the oil, when Syria needs every drop of oil for themselves and to rebuild the country. Because we've seen in the last several months phony fitna between Iran and Iraq. That's not true. It never was true. Nobody ever thought it was true. It was always, every demonstration, even the ones that had some reason to happen, was done to destabilize the region. Israelis, Saudi Arabia paid for it. Saudi Arabia paid for it because Saudi Arabia are Arabs and they have more access to that people. They have more access to ex-Saddam people, right? Will somebody turn the heat up? Gas depends. They have all the access to those people, right? So their objective was to cause disunity between Iran and Iraq, to destabilize Iran through sanctions, Iraq through all of this day-to-day fitna, right? Syria is already destabilized, but coming out of it. Iraq, Iran, and Syria is what we call, and been calling, the strategic alliance. Okay. So their goal was to cause them to have fitna and to destabilize Lebanon, which is Hezbollah, to destabilize Iraq, to destabilize Iran. And guess what? None of them worked. They would have a flash in the news, and America would say, look what they're doing, and then it would go away. In Iran, when they put the increase in oil, they had a few days of fitna, but the Iranian people were demonstrating against the rise in the prices. Those burnings and bombings and assassinations was because of MKO, Munafiqeen, the people who were paid to cause trouble for Iran. All of them failed. This latest episode have unified all the people of Iran, Iraq, and Syria. They're all, you could see it. No one had the ability to unify all of those different groups. Some are modernists, some are reformists, some are really revolutionary, the principalists they call them. Now they're all Iranians. They're all Iraqis, and they're all in harmony. They just voted to kick America out of Iraq. That means no more 4,500 people in their embassy to cause trouble. No more infiltration of all of their activities. No more slowing down their development, right? No more ISIS or Daesh. That's another reason that Soleimani was martyred. Because he was the greatest fighter against ISIL, Daesh, all of those people. He was the greatest, he's the greatest hero. And America don't say that he was the one that got rid of Daesh. Not America. America used to say, we're here bombing Daesh. You know what? They were there for 2 years pretending to bomb Daesh. The Russians came in and in 2 weeks had obliterated the Daesh with real bombing.